Hey there everyone, the Press Text Luffy here, and today I wanted to talk to you all and everyone about Persona 3. And as you all know, this channel deals with a lot of Persona 3 because, I kind of love Persona 3 a lot. I got a video coming out talking about how strong Yuki Makoto is. That's kind of taken up longer than what I expected, so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. But regardless of that fact, let's talk about Young Seas right now, because they're pretty interesting now. Let's talk about Young Seas. If you don't know the team I'm talking about with Young Seas, it consists of Mitsuru, Akihiko, and Shinjiro. Was the younger version of Seas and the first kind of team that Seas had as a full-fledged Tartarus annihilation. I don't know if you want to say annihilation, but please do keep in mind that these Persona 3 CDs are from the Persona 3 movies. They're kind of the promotion and kind of thing that stands with the Persona 3 movies. I wish they would have tied the movies in with Reload. That would have been such a great time. The CD covers Seas in 2007. The Mitsuru and Aki and Shinjiro of 2007, that team, their first years at Gekkokaun High School when they enter Tartarus for the first time and have their battles. They were in Tartarus for 3 years, from first years, from third to third years, and there's a lot to say. The drama CD, it was a promotion for the Persona 3 movies, like I said, like Spring of Birth and whatnot and whatever, and it takes place months before the start of the movie/game. So these are very interesting things, and I really recommend checking them out. I'll put the link to the CD in the description, but it's pretty much not too much of anything. It really kind of is just Persona filler. It's just like a beach little audio thing that's going on. It's probably 30 minutes long, so it's pretty interesting. It's a great little listen to, especially for me myself. I love Persona 3, so it was nice, and I asked myself, why wasn't this not in Persona 3 Reload? And I kind of got insane. But if you want to go see and listen to it yourself, go check it out in the description. I can tell you right now, just a quick little summary, it really isn't much. There's not much of a Tartarus grind from Young Seas. They really don't do anything. And the rest of it is pretty much just fan service and a beach episode between Shinjiro, Mitsuru, and Aki. So in this video, I just want to talk about some of that CD, and especially Young Seas. And I want to hear your thoughts below in the comment section. Let me know what your thoughts about Young Seas, because my thoughts are pretty interesting. And right now, let's see if they match up, because let's talk about the elephant in the room. Young Seas is a very interesting team. Well, let's talk about this. When we first see all these characters for the first time in Persona 3, they're definitely pretty strong. Like, when we see all of them, we think they're like top of the line tier type of levels. Like, Mitsuru was no slouch the first time she joined our party. Akihiko was insane, and Shinjiro was just like, dude, you're breaking the game. So it makes the player think and wonder, what was their power levels before Yuki Makoto arrived? Like, were they top of the line characters? Were they already going through Tartarus, and like, this is just like the first block and they're just like warming up Yuki Makoto? Maybe you didn't have those questions, but during my playthroughs I did. I always wondered about what the power level of Young Seas was. What would a team consisting of Mitsuru and Shinji and Aki would be like going through Tartarus? It sounds insane, but when you really put it, when you take it off the paper, it really isn't much. Like, it's known canon. Like, even in Reload, it's like officially canon. Like, Young Seas was terrible, like beyond terrible. Like, they didn't get past any block. They couldn't get anywhere really far in the first block. They were first years, which does make them actually younger than Yuki when he first arrived at Tartarus, because when Yuki first arrived, they're all second years. So, team second year, Junpei and Yukari. I don't know if I want to get first year being an excuse of them being that mid, because they did have like 3 extra years after that. They had their second year, and then they had the beginning of their third year when they first got Makoto. Like, legitimately, if we're going by the canon, they legitimately did not beat any boss. No, like, I'm being serious. Young Seas, from first years to third years, that's like 2-3 years in Tartarus, they didn't beat any boss. Like, legit, they might have not even got past the second floor, because like when we start off the beginning, we just see Mitsuru and tell Yuki about like the testing ground area, and that's probably where Mitsuru and them like left off. Like, that might have been it, but it's no fact. They didn't beat any boss. They really didn't beat any No Way Shadows. Like, if we talk about Young Seas and strength, they're just not it. Like, I legitimately think like a team with Yukari and Junpei on top of that freaking train, yeah, I think they could just smash Young Seas very badly. I literally don't see any way they would win, because like, if they were literally that mid, oh my god. It's insane. Like, really think about it. Yuki Makoto in 1 year. Yes, the wild card ability is insane when you think about it. And I don't want to say wild card is really carrying Yuki, but like, yo, that's insane. Like, Young Seas didn't do jack jiddly squat in Tartarus. Young Seas was still getting like their responsibility and their shots called from Akutsuki, by the way. So just remember that this is a Akutsuki-led Young Seas. I don't think they're in the best leadership, so you might want to give them that excuse. But like, yo, Yuki joined at the same amount. He probably joined worse because he joined with the like insanely like kind of being selfish. Mitsuru and Aki, they really didn't care about what's going on with Yuki and Yukari. And the rest of the seeds, they were just getting members because I'm pretty sure they were all tired of just being on the first block for those like 2 years. And at that point, when you're stuck on the first block for 2 years, do you really blame Mitsuru and Aki for like all the stuff? And like Akihiko wanted to like fight death and fix the stuff with Shinji and bring him back. So like, do you really blame Aki and them for acting like that? I could kind of see it now when you really put the CD in the backstories into your mind. Feats wise, they really don't have anything. There's really not really much to go off to give them a power level or strength. I legitimately think that Junpei and Yukari could beat them on top of that train. Legit, like. And the CD really like makes it like in your head that Akihiko was so appreciative that they were getting new members, especially Yuki. Like, he really was so excited and so appreciative, like that he can finally maybe get past his first block and get going to save Shinji. Like, I don't really blame them for feeling the way they did, but it's just like, man, Persona 3 has such tragic storylines going on all at once, colliding. And then, like, if you listen to the CD, I feel like you would have a great time. It makes you understand why you like Persona 3 a little bit more, because it made me understand just kind of what's the difference between Persona 3, 4, and 5. Persona 3 has characters that have already been united and formed together before the protagonist was even there. And it hits home even harder once he gets there, man. It just hits There's different. Not a lot to talk about Young Seas. That's kind of why I'm going to make a quick little video. It's just kind of over highlighting about how Young Seas didn't accomplish anything in Tartarus. In the 1 year Yuki pulled up, he accomplished like everything they could have done, and by like 1,000,000 times 100. So it kind of gives you a lot of respect for Yuki Makoto. I don't know. But with that CD, I highly recommend listening to it. You can really see like the friendship that Young Seas has, Mitsuru, Aki, and Shinji. I really think it's a valuable listen. I honestly listened to it several times. It's really great, especially if you love Persona 3. I wish they added to the Persona 3 Reload. These are content that we would have gotten. Like, that's why I feel to this day that that game is just undercooked. It's a great game, but it's just undercooked in a lot of ways that I feel Atlas should have added more things. If you talk about Young Seas, just pretty much all you're talking about is how they didn't get it done in Tartarus. Like, literally at all. They had a goal, which to do something, bro, but they couldn't, like, legitimately couldn't even beat the first boss. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for Young Seas. Like, I think that's all I wanted to really talk about. Like, is there anything else? Let me know in the comments below. Is there anything I missed to talk about Young Seas that sounds, like, pretty interesting or whatever. I guess like Mitsuru's backstory, I guess like probably what our parents would probably be more interesting to talk about with Young Seas, but I really don't think we got any information about that at all. If I find some, I'll let you know about it. So let me know about it in the comments below. And I'm sorry, I just can't forgive it. Like, yo, $40 DLC, you couldn't even add the content of the CDs. That would have been amazing to add in that $40 DLC. Like, in the story or whatever. As a cutscene, though, that was 30 minutes. That could have been 30 minutes of just content. Yeah. Always make sure to stay hydrated, like and subscribe, and maybe share this to a dog or a friend you got. I don't know. Later, y'all. And this is Luffy. Peace out.